how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So, most people in this life, right, they just want to, play the game of life, right? They don't want to question anything. They just want to do their part and, fill their part in the matrix, right? This is the thing, man. It's not something that I enjoy doing. So, along my journey, I had to go a little bit deeper, and I wanted to know how the game was created. That was my thing, man. Like, it's one thing to be involved in it and, go to a 9 to 5 and, have a family and buy a house and finance a car and have kids, put them through school and, everything but the white picket fence, right? This is what we've been sold, all right? This is what, they would call it the American dream or whatever you want to call it, but this is the narrative that we've been sold, throughout our life. And the thing is, man, you go about your life pursuing these goals and climbing the corporate ladder and, doing the same thing everybody else is doing. Kind of just walking around and just like, okay, and just going through life, right? Now, I decided that kind of sick of playing the game. I want to know how it's created. I want to know more. I want to know, why we're here, man. What is the point of this? So I had to dig deep, man, and it took me years and years and years of multiple YouTube videos, right? Dipping into different religions and looking at different aspects, right? And this is all just theories, right? Because nobody really knows for sure what the hell we're doing here, how it's created. Everybody's got their own opinion, right? Some people say it's a simulation, that we're basically, in a 3D holographic simulation, just like a video game, which I can almost buy into because years ago I thought the same thing, man. Before all this information started to surface through other people, I thought, geez, I'm a gamer myself, not so much now, but before, when I was younger, I thought, the evolution of gaming, right? Like throughout the years, how it just got better and better and better, right? More advanced, and to the point now where we're doing VR, and you put on the goggles, you can put on the whole suit, whatever it is, man, and you can immerse your five senses into this virtual world, right? There's a movie called Ready Player One, where the outside world has gone to shit and everybody's living in these little trailers stacked on top of one another, but they're in VR land and they're basically living out their reality in this VR simulation. So who's to say that some advanced being is not wearing the goggles to your life and simulating your life, which some religions will like to call the higher self or whatever it may be, God, or, it goes so deep, and that we haven't actually caught up to the, simulation. We haven't caught up to the technology. But if you look at the way things are going, how realistic the way the video games are getting, you think in another 20 years, are you going to be able to tell the difference? It's almost hard to tell the difference now. So, that's a theory. That's one theory, right? That among many that people are buying into. And of course, then there's the other end of the spectrum where you dip into the spiritual aspect of, reality where, some teachers say that we're just nothing but pure consciousness and we're imagining ourselves in this dream of life, right? And we create everything through our imagination. There's nothing real. It's all an illusion, right? It's all just a projection of our consciousness. Now, I really bought into that one. And to this day, I like that concept because it takes away everything. It takes away all the suffering. It takes away all the jargon. It takes away all the small things that people get so friggin' overwhelmed with, right? And, you got to believe in something, right? You really have to believe in something other than trying to keep up with the Joneses and, going through this routine of getting up and fighting with traffic to get to a job that you may or may not like, that you tolerate. Maybe you've been there for 20, 25 years. You put in your time and so you can pay the bills and live and be part of the matrix programming of society, right? And that's what these guys have done since the dawn of time. Since you go way back, man, you gotta go way, way back and understand how the system was designed in the first place to keep people under control, right? The masses have to be under some sort of control, under some sort of system, so everybody sort of follows the rules, like the rules of the game. Like these are, we used to create games when we were kids and say, hey, these are the rules, right? You're allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that, and whatever the case may be, right? That's it, man. But when you start to dive a little bit deeper, and I think a lot of people who are so caught up in this game of life, this mundane friggin' just day in, day out, same old monotonous shit, that a lot of people, go to some sort of vice and then they get caught up in an addiction, whatever it be, whatever it is, just to numb out the reality that they're in, right? Not realizing that they have more, power to actually create the reality that they want. But, a lot of people have a hard time wrapping their head around that too, because they're so immersed in the program that there's no way of getting out, right? I mean, you've been programmed for such a long time through the media and through TV and news and commercials, and especially if you grew up in a time where, before the internet became so popular back in the 80s and the 90s, you were being programmed by like TV programs. That's why they call them programs, sitcoms, programs. Subliminals were being sent to you through these commercials, and a lot of stuff and that was going into your subconscious that programmed you a certain way to behave a certain way, and you didn't even realize it, man. Some people just will stay there forever and not understand the deeper meaning behind all this stuff, right? But the few of us pulled back and said, wait a minute, something doesn't feel right. I want to know a deeper understanding of this reality, how it was created, why I'm here, what is the point of this. It's just some sort of testing ground for us to learn and have experiences, and just to get to understand different aspects of what it's like to be a human being, right? That goes back to the spiritual aspect, where you're just pure consciousness having a human experience, right? And the reincarnation, and if you don't learn your lessons in this life, you just get reincarnated back into the system, and you may or may not come back as a person. You could come back as a freaking animal. You don't know, right? This is just another theory, another way of looking at things, another religion, whatever it is, man, right? So everybody's got to believe in something, and a higher power or God or source or the universe or whatever it is, right? And people want to know that they have, some sort of control over their life, right? This is the whole freaking illusion of the game, that you think you have some sort of control over your life. And while you do, but if you're immersed in the matrix programming, you may think that you have control of your life, but if that's in fact an illusion, you're being lied to, because you're actually being programmed by what they want you to see, right? They manipulate your perception into believing things that they want you to see. And they can do this through, obviously, the things that you focus on. So, I mean, a lot of this comes down to basically unlearning a lot of stuff that you've been taught throughout your life, unlearning stuff, unlearning it, seeing what's true, seeing what's false, and your belief systems and everything else, and then reprogramming your mind towards what you actually want to see in your life, what you want to happen in your life. But it takes a long time. It takes years and years and years of deprogramming, and it takes years and years and years of reprogramming to actually start seeing that, yes, in fact, you are definitely the sole creator of your life, but it goes much deeper than that, because you have so many variables, and you have other people creating their worlds as well, and everybody's with the collective consciousness commingling in one, collective way that you put your part in and you create your way through life. But it just goes so much deeper. But anyways, with that being said, I'm going to end it at that 10-minute mark. And thank you for tuning in. See you in the next. Take it easy.